Hey guys, it's Chris with HotShotsCatering.com, and yes, I know it looks like I'm in a whole different realm right now. This is not the normal studio that you see me in at my shop. This is actually my home studio that I'm developing here. We're going to mainly do live streams out of here, as well as just kind of a quicker way for me to get content to you guys. So I hope you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see coming from out of here. But I want to have an easier way for me to get you guys content, get you reviews, teach you guys about the gourmet coffee experience a lot faster. But I figured to do a follow-up video, a part 2 on the video I did last week on the 5 most caffeinated coffees, if you remember that. I wanted to do it here in this kind of studio that I have. So let's just dive into it, right? So if you remember, we were talking about a week ago, I did the 5 most caffeinated, strongest coffees on the planet, right? Well, and I'll be honest with you, one of the first times I've ever had, I wouldn't say strongest coffee, but when I had Death Wish coffee, it was actually at a friend's house, and I tried it, and it was so caffeinated, okay, to me, and my fiance, and I know some of you guys watching this here be like, Chris, why is that coming? I don't know what happened, but I had a cup of it, and I literally, maybe it was just because it was late at night, but we both actually, my fiance and I both had a cup of this coffee, and I mean, it took us forever to go to sleep, and we both had headaches. So Death Wish coffee to me, and if you remember in the 2019 top 5 coffees, I reviewed that coffee. It was good. It wasn't my favorite, but it's not really my favorite coffee. Let's just put it that way. But what I want to tell you guys about that is that's what I was thinking these guys were. I thought they were going to be 1 cup and I was going to be like overly wired, all this stuff. From the time I did the tasting, even after the tasting, I did sippings on all these coffees, drank a few of them. I didn't get overly wired. Now, I'm someone who can handle my caffeine content. I feel like, you know, I do 2 to 3 shots of espresso a day, maybe even a little bit more than that on some days. But when you have high quality coffee, I find that you don't really get jitters or the handshakes and all that. Now, if you've ever taken like a no-dose, I used to take no-dose in high school when I would stay up doing papers or things like that. I hated that because that would make me really, really jittery. So first and foremost, if you're like me, and I feel like most people out there are probably less caffeinated than I am, then these 5 coffees here are going to be fine. So that's the very first thing I want to put out there with the caffeine content of these coffees. I know some of them said they were up into the thousands of milligrams or whatever, but honestly, I don't think they're that strong. And you know, maybe they're stronger if you make a full pot. I've been drinking all of these kind of in a pod situation where I'm doing about 2 to 3 tablespoons of this coffee per about 8 ounces of water. So, you know, keep that in mind as well. But I would tell you, one of my favorite coffees so far out of this has really been the Mahalo Java. Now, I talked about this last week that I really enjoyed this coffee. To me, it was a lot more like a medium roast coffee, and I just really like that. It wasn't like these other ones where it was really dark and really bold and I mean, almost drinking, like I said, like engine oil or something like that. This one, to me, was more like just a good, bold, medium roasted coffee. Now, the beans don't look that way, but that's how it tasted. It smells great. All these coffees, believe it or not, I think smell great. Now, these other 4, okay, but really before I go into that, the Mahalo Java, I will say, as far as caffeine content, I started this week drinking this one. I think even though it is a medium roasted tasting coffee, it has that same feel as far as caffeine. And so basically how I did these is I would make a cup, drink it in the morning around 7, 8 o'clock, and then I wanted to see how I felt the whole day, okay? Sometimes I take a nap throughout the day, but I can tell you this week I didn't really need any naps. These other 4, I think are, to me, strong enough to where you could probably get by with 1 cup a day. I felt energized with all these other 4 all day long. The Mahalo Java, I'd say maybe, but really these other 4 I felt pretty good all day long. So as far as caffeine content, honestly, the one I think that has the most, if it was just a blindfold tasting and I would just say at the end of the week what I thought, I really think this one does. Now I drank this, I've drunken this the last 2 days. This is the Devil Mountain coffee. Now if you remember in the video, I said that I actually did not like this coffee. It was probably one of my least favorites because it was just overly bold. But you know, normally I do with the coffee profile, I do some cream and stuff and we taste the coffees. And so I actually didn't do cream in this last video, so I did that throughout the week. And I will tell you, the Devil Mountain has started to become my favorite coffee out of all these as far as taste goes. I think it's just because it's so bold and you put some cream with it and the flavors and the notes change a little bit. But all of these are going to be very black, very dark coffees. They're definitely going to have caffeine in them, but you know, if you do 2 cups, maybe you get a little bit too much jittery. But I think for the most part, most of us out there, as far as caffeine content, they're going to be fine if you're a coffee drinker. Now, if you're a coffee drinker that goes to a restaurant and drinks black coffee, these coffees, or Starbucks or things like that, these coffees I think are a step above all of that. The taste is going to be different. As I said, very dark, very bold coffees, very smoky and leather tasting coffees. They're very, very bold. But I would say they all kind of changed and mellow out with some cream, which I always put cream in my coffee for the most part. So that's just me. But other than that, that's pretty much all I can say about these coffees. Now I did want to, and sometime we're gonna do this, I wanted to get some caffeine strips and stuff, but since the whole COVID crisis is going on, there's not much of anything you can actually find out there anymore, even caffeine strips. So other than doing like a diabetic blood test or sending these coffees to a lab, which I tried to think about, it just got really expensive. So other than doing that, realistically, you just gotta go by your own personal feeling with caffeine. If you like caffeine, if you like coffee, I think you're not gonna go wrong with any one of these. They're bolder, but they definitely have caffeine content. The Mahalo Java, if you've tried Death Wish and you're not a big fan of Death Wish, I would say try the Mahalo Java. I think it's a little bit more mellow, but at the same time, I think it's a better tasting coffee. But other than that, guys, let me know what you think. If you've tried these, let me know. I'm very interested to know in the description or in the comments if you guys have tried these and how you like them. So let me know in the comments below. Tell me how you guys like this new studio I'm creating here. Will you like to see some live feed videos? Let me know that in the comments. Is this an easier way? If I can do this faster and get 2, 3, 4 videos out to you guys a week, would you enjoy that more? Or do you like the once a week platform? So hit me up in the comments, let me know, and I will see you guys next time with another great video.
Okay. I think it's about time for me to go. Like I dive deep. Like I'm last week night with the flow here. Johnny boy, my peeps. I'm an infotainment state. My brain ain't contained. Keep spilling out. I'm belligerent insane. My drink don't stay in place. I'm just 2 girls, 1 cup, and